Well, after some attempts, I think I will make it. The point here is that I have tried with some online recorders, but they were useless. So I think I will try with my camera. And then my idea is to make a tutorial with this experience for you to save time when you are making your video, you're recording it. So just I'm going to to see how this works. I'm going to record myself reading some paragraphs for some minutes. So I'm going to read about Reina's The National Monarchy 1485-1547. It says, the ascension of Henry VII is generally taken as the dividing line between medieval and modern times. The Tudor form of government was an all-powerful monarchy based upon the support of the nation, which looked upon the sovereign as the embodiment of the national spirit and the guardian of the national welfare. The most important corollary of this unified centralized control was the separation of the English Church from the authority of the Pope. The ascension of Henry VII was in many ways the landmark in our history. Not only was he the first of a new family of sovereigns, we also feel that 1485 makes a convenient dividing line to mark the beginning of modern times. Medieval civilization, with its all-powerful universal church, its communal system of life on manor and in borough, and its feudal system of land-owning and military service had long been decaying. In some respects, it lingered on well into the Tudor period and even after it. But if we have to fix the date when we can say that it no longer dominates the lives of the nation as a whole, that date must be 1485. What are the principal features which distinguish modern from medieval life? Firstly, the modern age is an age of nationalism, when people are bound together not by just personal ties as feudal service, but by pride in their country. The feeling was fostered by strong monarchies, and the system of government set up by Henry VII and his successors was so strong that we sometimes speak of it as the Tudor despotism. Secondly, it was an age when the individual began to act and think for himself, instead of acting and thinking as a member of a community such as a manor or guild. Manors and guilds had long been losing their grips on their members, and by 1485 they had very little left. Thirdly, the most vital of these new claims to individual freedom was in religion. The whole of the Catholic Church over men's minds was no longer so unquestioned as it had been in the Middle Ages. Within 50 years of 1485, England threw off obedience to the Pope altogether, and even in the reign of Henry VII, reformers were attacking many of the abuses which had crept into the Church's practices. Yet, another aspect of modern times first manifested in England about this time was the revived interest in this world and in human nature, which we call the Renaissance. It already stimulated the invention of printing, it now led to a revival of the study of the Greek and Latin classics, and aroused the scientific spirit of wanting to understand. Another form which it took was a restless longing to know more of the world. And men now began to range over the whole globe in their quest for adventure and gain. For all these reasons, then, we may look upon the accession of Henry VII in 1485 as a watershed between the medieval and the modern ages. That's all.